listening to the Balancing Act podcast. Here's your hosts, Jamie Wonko and Joe Vitale.
Hey, we are officially recording.
Hello, and welcome back to the Balancing Act podcast. I am Jamie Wonko here with my gorgeous, sun-kissed co-host,
Thank you.
Mr. Joseph, a.k.a. he prefers Joe Vitale.
Oh, we're going by first names. It's not that I preferred. It's not that I prefer Joe. It's just Joseph is so formal, and
You identify as a Joe.
Yes, I identify as a Joe. I've only had two people call me Joey. That would be my mom, and I had a ex-girlfriend who used to be like, "Oh, Joey," and it's like it just stuck, and I never changed it, and I never said anything. So that's what it was. But yeah, here we are, another sun kiss. Thank you. I mean, it's a lot of like sitting at probably baseball games roasting a little bit, thankfully, because there's been a lot of days where you're out there and you're freezing, and I have my battery operated heated jacket on. So hopefully, I think we've turned a corner.
You think so?
I sure as hell hope so.
I thought it was we were supposed to have like rain, and that's not what happened. So I like it.
Yeah,
I was
me too.
Pleasantly surprised that we haven't had so much of the rain.
Yes, I'm also, I'm starting to hear the magical sound of summer in the evening, which, as we know, is the ice cream man. And it just makes me happy. Like when you start hearing that, it's like, yep, it's coming.
We don't have that in our neighborhood.
There's only one or two of them that like come around. It's not very often though. We do have Scream Truck, which we've talked about.
I love it.
I know
I scream, you scream, we all scream for Scream Truck.
So those of you that don't know, Scream Truck is I think we've talked about it before when we had who's the woman from Nicholas Creamery? I can't remember.
Miss Jody.
That's right.
That's right.
So we had Jody on, and we talked a little bit about Scream Truck. What Scream Truck is like, you sign up like, hey, Scream Truck's going to be in your area from 7:30 to 8:30 tonight, and you immediately order, and they come to your house during that time. That's the only way you can get them. And it's lights and it's music. The ice cream is phenomenal. It really is very good. And they got seasonal stuff and all sorts of fun things. But I haven't done it in a while. I should do that.
The only issue with the Scream Truck for people, not me, I'm not people, but the issue would be, this has happened to me a couple times, so I am people, but I get a message at like 11 o'clock, and it's the Scream Truck is going to come to your house today at 3 p.m. And it's like, oh, nobody's there at 3, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so that can be tricky, but when it is, it is most of the time it's a very pleasant surprise, and nobody likes the Scream Truck more than my dog.
Pup cups. They do have a very cool, they got a whole thing.
This just in, they're going to be charging $1 per pup cup, but they are going to donate the money. Yes, to worthy causes for animals. Have you heard that the Scream Truck is adding pizza?
I did hear that. They started testing it where they're going to have like a little Neapolitan pizza thing that's going to be coming around, which I love that idea. What are some other trucks that there should be? In the wintertime, there should be like a soup truck that just drives around with different soups. But I think the problem is I like soup. What am I going to say? And
oh my goodness, I love soup.
But there's no like song like soup de-doop de-doop. Like there's no like soup song.
When I think of soup, I always think of Justin Timberlake and
you have no
and Jimmy Fallon, right? It was Jimmy Fallon?
No, it was Justin Timberlake on SNL. Bringing on down the homelessville.
No, they did, and I think one of them was dressed up like a gift bag, and he was like a sack, like a right, like a Christmas sack. That one to me is like the most.
They did
classic.
The rapping
When they were like cotton candy, sweet as gold. Put your soup in a bowl.
Yeah, let me see your minestrone. Yes. And they do like, it's amazing. So and what's really funny is I just talked about that like 2 days ago with with one of my coworkers. It was in the cafeteria. We're dismissing kids. We're like, okay, you got to clean up. Or she's like, or you could just ignore me and pretend like I'm not a person. And she just started like, she broke into song, and then no one was standing around her, and she was just by herself. And it was an amazing moment because we both looked at each other, and I just laughed, and then we started talking about Justin Timberlake. So
sometimes that's, that is a coping mechanism of mine that yeah. The other day, now, and I tell the children, like, we've been together for 9 months, and they ask me still, like, where are the scissors? Where's the glue?
Where are the books?
Where are the books, right? Because I'm like...
So Jamie took to labeling the cabinets in her room, and people would just walk in because her room used to be like the junk room. It was like, all right, not the junk room, but it was nobody's room. So like it was everybody's room. So like every teacher in the social studies department, there were like 4 different teachers in there. Block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4. So
man. And it was all men.
And no one took ownership over it. No one took ownership over like, this is the room that we're going to clean it. We're going to organize it. We're going to make sure it's good. So like Jamie got like the room that was like the leftover room, but she made it her own, and it's amazing.
I love it. I love it.
And as she like acclimated, people would come in because that's where all the stuff was for the department. They'd be like, hey, where are the books?
Where are the books?
Where are the books? So she just labeled one of her cabinets and it just says all the books. And it's just my favorite thing.
So it was like, and it's like, Mrs. Wonko, where are the scissors? Or my favorite, do you have any rulers? Like we've used rulers all year long, and everything is either in art, labeled art,
which somebody put an F in front of, and it's the fart cabinet.
And I'm like, it's in the art cabinet.
Yeah.
It's either in art or create, right? So it was like,
and by the way, you just leave it. We're middle school people, all right?
Oh, I left it. I love it. I mean, and the kids are like, did you do it? I'm like, I didn't do it, but I wish I had thought of it, but no, it wasn't me. But so it was just like the song, like everything has been in the same place all year.
Yeah.
I don't know why you can't find it. La la la. It was like I had to go on, and they just are like, smiling at me and
this is what happens. This is what happens when you get to the middle of the final marking period of the school year and you have just lost all synapses in your brain from firing, and you're giving directions and there's that one kid that's just talking. It's like, this person's gonna talk the whole time and not.
And the singing though is the great. It really calms everybody because then it's like the ones who weren't listening now are listening, and the ones who like were already listening are smiling. Especially if they think, as my students do, they think that I feel that I missed out on a singing career.
My wonder. I actually read a strategy recently that said like, if you can hear me, point to someone that's still talking. And like everybody points. It's like, I loved that idea. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm ready to try it. But yeah, that's a good one.
Like, what are we doing? What's going on? What did she say?
Are we working today?
Oh my goodness.
I have one kid endearingly who comes in every day. He's like, can we watch a movie? Every day he comes in and asks it.
When
every
is this
day.
going to be his day?
And then one day it will be.
Oh, I can't wait for that day. I hope it's going to be something great.
Yeah. Well, we were doing like these little activities, and
he doesn't want activities. He wants a movie.
No, we were doing a Movement Monday activity. And it was like a duo thing. It's like you chose which duo you liked the best, and then you did that exercise.
Yeah, the this or that. They love those.
Yeah, so we did one, and it was like which duo, and there were like different ones coming up, and like Wall-E and Evie came up. Like Wall-E, the Disney movie Wall-E.
Yeah,
and
of course.
They're like, what movie is that? I'm like, it's Wall-E. And they're like, wow, we've never seen. I'm like, you guys have never seen. How have you never seen Wall-E? Like Wall-E or Up, which is I will a hill I will die on. Up is the best Pixar Disney movie. I know Cars and Toy Story. I get it. Up.
I don't like Cars.
A lot of people don't like Cars. I thought it's cute. But anyway, but there were a lot of those movies I didn't see, and I'm not really a movie shower at the end of the year. But my period one, who shout out to my period one, none of them are listening. Are my favorite period this year. They're just fun. They're like they're today they actually one girl was like, my God, I'm in this room and it's so cold. It was like for testing. It's like, it's so cold in there. It's like why do like old people like they have to have the room like so cold? And I'm like, how old is old? And they're like, my mom's 35. And I'm like, oh, I'm so old. And they're like, they're just saying all these things.
Oh yeah.
And one girl goes,
yeah. Facts.
You're not old till you start caring about your health. That's what she said. And I just cracked up. And then one other person's like, you're not old until you like say your dinner is supper. Like they started,
that's funny.
It literally just came out of nowhere. I was like, you guys are like a little stand-up comedy troupe today.
That's great.
It was endearing and hysterical. And I was like, oh. And there was at one point, the same girl, we were just talking about something. And I was like, well, how old do you guys think I am? This was a different day. She's like, 67. She just threw out a number. So that's what I say all the time. I was like, well, when you're 67, and all the kids just start laughing. So they're just a fun group. They're endearing. They make me laugh. So like maybe we'll do a movie.
Aside from singing, do you wanna know one other thing that I'm gonna tell you anyway, even if you said no, I would tell you anyway. That like, something that I think really sort of, like, disarms them and, like, changes whatever is happening.
I hope you don't crop dust them, do you? Is that no? Is that
This is the fartiest class I've ever I mean, this is, like, the 24, 25 group
I only bring that up because it's been
is the
brought up in
gassiest
casual conversation. Yeah.
It's the gassiest group of children I've ever had, and I mean, sometimes it's like, "Oh my god, I'm choking." Like, "Are
Yeah.
you unwell? What is happening?" But yeah, so no,
This
not me,
episode's going off the rails. Okay.
right? But so ask me a question, like, we're gonna pretend. You're the student, and
Okay.
I'm me,
Yeah.
and you're, gonna ask me something.
Hey, miss,
Yes?
where can I find markers?
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Now it only gets better if you look at the kid next to them. How dare he? Did you hear what he just said? Now, like, everybody in that area is like and they don't get the Kelly Kapoor. They don't get the Office reference, which is, like, one of my most favorite of all time when Ryan comes back.
Yes.
And, and it's and she's like and he's like, "Okay, does anyone have any questions?" And she's like, "Yeah, I have a question. How dare you?"
She's tell you, there are some moments in that show.
Mindy
There are some
Kaling,
moments
you
in
are a
that show.
genius. Yeah,
There are some moments
but
in that
that
show that
is
are
another
amazing.
thing that, like, really does sort of, I mean, you asked me something that wasn't necessarily, like, gonna cause any kind of tension, but I often, how
I like
dare
to
you?
take one from actually your playbook. They'll say so. I'll be like, you know what? We're fighting, and I just walk away. I'm like, we're fighting. We are in a quarrel, and we are fighting, and I just walk away. Because a lot of honestly, a lot of even behaviors, it's like there's so many ways to diffuse it where it doesn't become a situation. Like
Yeah.
my thing is I make up middle names. Like when you would get in trouble and your mother would be like, Jamie Noel, you better blah blah
That's my
blah.
real name.
I know.
I
I know.
know. Usually you call me Jamie Marie.
I know. So exactly. So I like make up middle names, and I'll be like, Robert Michael, and they're like, Michael, what? Where did you? I'm like, I make up middle names. Stop it right now, and they laugh, and it diffuses the situation, and then everybody moves on, and then every once in a while, I guess it right, and everybody's
I
like, oh
bet
my
you
god,
your odds of guessing are really low.
oh, they're very low. They're
Wait,
like.
this year
They're almost as good as when I used to work the Guess Your Weight, Guess Your Age booth at Fantasy Island.
everybody's getting a prize.
Everybody, you get a prize. You get a prize. Everybody gets a prize. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Anyway, we're in rare
I
form
will
today,
say
folks.
a throwback to Courtney. Hey, it's me. Hi, it's Mrs. V. To Courtney Varner, right?
Oh, yes.
Her, and it has played in my head so many times since we had her on the pod. And I think it is like simplistic enough in its, in the idea of it, but it is so profound. If you are not having fun and remembering that like these kids are kids and you're not finding ways to joke and laugh and like really sort of make the situations lighter, then you really have to reevaluate what you're doing in the classroom.
I do not disagree.
Ugh.
We're also all not perfect. We all have days where we just don't have it.
Heck yes.
Yeah. It's
Of
like
course.
hashtag I have nothing left to give. I think that's been a theme on here. So yeah, it's but you're 100% right. And that's great advice from Courtney from a previous episode. And definitely check out our earlier episodes with some of our great
Yes.
guests that we've had. We
Yeah.
would love for you to do that.
So what is our topic today? I have I have a couple of questions for you, but
You have questions for me? Oh, am I all right?
it was a bit of a part of another show that I
Okay.
felt like we weren't finished with. It was
Oh,
let this meeting be called to order.
oh, okay. So all right.
Business any
I
unfinished
call a
business?
quorum, a quarrel,
Quorum.
quarrel,
A quorum.
what is it called? You got a quorum. That's what it is. Quorum, when you got enough
Quorum?
people in the room. I don't know, parliamentary procedure. Anyway, Me.
Wait. Old business. If you show a movie, what will the movie be?
I'll probably show something Disney related.
Nice.
Something
And
like WALL-E
also,
or Up, or I'll let them choose.
halfsies, holesies. Like, show it for half the time, not
Um,
the whole time,
no, I can't because they don't pay attention.
right? Like, you only have like, that's what I'm like a good 20, 30 minutes max, and then, like, then I gotta wait till the next day.
Yeah, I do the same.
Yeah, right?
A lot of
Yeah.
times, like, I don't know, I like to I mean, we all know what half days at school are like, right? So, I do make sure that we spend those times and make them as purposeful as we can.
Yeah.
We talk about maybe I'll have them, like, do a little survey of, like, "What was your favorite part of the year?" Or, a lot of times we do a mock trial just because they enjoy the mock trials, and it's
They love it.
something like, "Would you rather do this or, like, do something else?" Or I've had kids come in and we play board games, like, little
Ga
stuff like that.
Games, I love to play games with
Yeah.
them. Wait, so if you, I will say I'm showing a movie right now. I am not anti-movie. I'm showing a movie right now. It's the second movie for one of my classes that we've watched this year, full-length feature film, and, they are completely and totally glued to it. So
Awesome.
we read the novel, and
Mhm.
now we're watching the movie. And we did that for the Watsons Go to Birmingham, and they were outraged, like, it was so good because it was like, "This isn't what we pictured at all," and they were able to make sense of it, and I love that. And now we're watching Tuck Everlasting. We finished
Oh,
reading Tuck
nice.
Everlasting, and they're even
Great.
more, um, enraged. And I just love, like, that being able to, compare those 2 things, and they're glued to it. So I don't
That's
mind.
awesome.
Yeah, I don't, yeah, and especially this generation has a more difficult time. They've more YouTube, so they're used to watching the clips rather than the entire movie. But
Exactly.
sometimes, like, it really last year, what did I do? A League of Their Own? That was I mean, nobody moved. They were completely into it. So,
Great
I can't
movie.
wait to hear what first period gets to do. Maybe I'll have to, oh, no, I'm working. I was like,
You
"I'll
could
have
always
to
well,
swing
we could always
by."
swing in. They're fun. They're a good
True.
group.
So,
There's some chuckleheads in there, but, we make it work.
I'm looking forward to them next year,
Yeah.
hopefully. So, okay.
You wanted to revisit something. What do we got?
I do
I'm under
want
the
to
gun.
revisit
Okay.
a couple of topics about, like, specifically about, like, parent volunteers in school.
Oh, okay, we're back to this again. Okay.
Okay, because we, had some, I think, some unfinished business when it came to, and I've actually had a few people who have heard the episode and have asked, and it was only part of a greater chat that we had had. It was only one part of, so I wanted to, and it really sort of caused quite a bit of chatter.
It
Uh,
did.
it really did. So, what do you think about this time of year with and I kind of forgot this. So we had talked about, for anybody who missed that episode or part of the episode, we had talked about having to earn points in order to volunteer at your child's field day
Yes.
specifically. So you could be a class parent, and the responsibility can be shared with a spouse. So it wasn't just a singular, like, just mom or dad. It could be among the two of you, between the two of you. And the idea is that you have to, earn enough points to be able to go to field day. It could be, and the points came from different categories. So whether you attended a PTO meeting or you chaired a fundraiser or, you were the class parent or you sent tissues in, whatever that might be, right?
Mhm.
So as I'm having these little chats with some of the people who had listened to the episode, specifically to this particular time of year, I forgot that, and I don't want to full on go with, like, what grinds my gears, but I forgot what is the thing that I really like. It made me so crazy. Muffins with mom.
Okay.
So I was curious. I was curious if you ever had a donuts with dad or
We did we now, okay. I remember there being one when we lived in Pennsylvania for a short period of time. I remember there being one. We did a
okay,
donuts with dad at the elementary school. Really quick little in the cafeteria, bing bang boom, and you're out. Um, I don't remember it at the element. It's not that they didn't do it. I
Mhm.
don't remember
Okay.
having done it because there were a lot of different events. We tried to go to as many as we could.
Okay.
But just like everything else in life, people start to get pulled in a bunch of different directions. And what are some things that you cut out? School obligations, or I don't want to say obligations, but like things that are like volunteer opportunities. Like sometimes, there was
Well, that
literally
wasn't right, that wasn't
yeah,
volunteering.
no.
That
But like
was, you're
we
gonna
did
go
do
and
it.
have breakfast or some sort of
Yeah.
lunch with your child
So
before, or during the or right in the morning. I don't know, our school did it in the morning.
I think they did it yeah, they did it. I remember the one in Pennsylvania was absolutely in the morning because I do
Okay.
remember going into to work later that day.
Yeah.
So,
And so traditionally, so my I have a list of like problems with it, but one of my issues was the fact that I didn't think it should be called muffins with mom or
yeah.
donuts with dad. I didn't think that it should occur when it was, I've been seeing a lot of videos lately about Maycember and how, May has become like the second December.
Oh my god,
And
literally just talking about this today with somebody that I ran into at Wawa, who
mm,
her and I went to high school together, and we teach in the same district, and it was like, the kids and this thing and the cotillion and the driving test and this thing and that, and it's like everything is in May, everything, communion, uh,
Mother's Day,
Mother's Day,
field day. A lot of them
all the
start
days.
in May, right? All
All
the
the
days.
days. And
So,
that's also why which for me personally, and I've joked
yeah,
about this before, and this is not the case, but the joke with us is like, in the first 2 weeks of May, I'm a single parent because my wife is also at end of semester. And, kids are graduating from college, and they're coming out of doctoral programs, and we're auditing and making sure that everybody's good because those people wanna graduate.
yeah,
Right? Like,
heck
that's a
yes.
huge accomplishment. So she's like I wouldn't say she's the keystone of all of that, but, like, she's a very important part of that. So she's gotta make sure that her part is done so everything else can get done for those kids to be able to walk and graduate and go across the stage and shake the hands and move the tassel and wear the grand poobah hat and all that stuff, right?
Yeah,
So, like, at that point, like, I know I'm on. I'm on for doctor's appointments, the driving, this, that, whatever it is, it's me. So I know, like, that's also a very stressful time for us as a family. So, but then you're adding in all those other events that you're trying to do. But like, I get it, uh, completely.
yeah, it's a lot. So my issue was muffins with mom, like, number 1, the name. Number 2, making it at directly next to Mother's Day, and Father's Day, because that's not necessarily something that everyone, not everybody has a mom, not everybody has a dad. Then you have 2 different situations where parents are now having to rearrange their schedules, at this very difficult time of year, right?
Mhm.
So, we had offered up some different solutions to that, right? Also, my other issue with it was, to be quite frank, was, some of the people who were coming, it's like nobody wants to, like, no one really wanted to organize it.
Yes.
And like someone's got to go buy all the muffins and buy all the drinks and put all the tablecloths and set everything up. And, so that's and yet people who are completely and totally unavailable to do any of those chores are suddenly available to come.
Mhm.
I can't, like, those kinds of things don't always like gel with me. And I feel like if everybody just does one thing, right? Not everybody has to do 10 things, but if everybody did one, then one person's not doing 100.
Well, it's the idea of
Many
look,
hands make light work.
yes, oh,
That was my speech, each year to the parents at back to school night.
yeah,
As the president of the PTO, I would get up and I would say, "Please, like, we are all working moms, we and dads. We are all, parents of multiple children who are involved in lots of activities. And if you can just give us 1 hour of 1 month of your time, many hands make light work. Like,
yeah.
we're all in this together."
I'm not trying to downplay this, right? Like, this is definitely something that I hate using this word, triggering, right? Because it's something you've been through, as, a PTO president for a number of years.
Mhm.
And
Co-president.
co-parenting.
I don't wanna be,
And
co-president.
I would also like to say this, it's not like and your kids are no longer in elementary school, and it's not like you haven't stayed involved in some capacity. You're
Yeah.
involved in the band, parent organization,
Mhm.
you're involved in various things, so you're not like you're a put up you're it's like you've put up and shut up. I don't know if that's
And
coming out the
shown
right
up.
and shown up, I get yeah. It's like put up or shut up, but, like, you've
Yeah.
put up and shown up your time and your talent and your ability and, like, doing fundraisers and all that stuff, and the things that you've done are amazing. And I know, like, having been a part of organizations where you are, you know, uh, 20% of the people do 80% of the work, right? You got, like, a small amount of people that are the driving force in an organization, and the other people are the ones that, like, show up and do, like, the little thing. And I'd like to say this plainly. I know we were joking around and talking about this stuff and looking at it from 2 different perspectives, right? So I'm looking at the idea of muffins with mom and volunteering time is like, "Oh, you gotta take off of work," and stuff like that. But then hearing it from your perspective, let me make this very clear. You are right. Okay? Because
Mm.
no, there's no I mean, we're joking around about it, but, like, you are right from that perspective. I
Thanks.
look at it as like, well, what if you don't have the ability to take off from your job? And can there are some schools that don't allow, like, okay, you can't be there at that time if you work the fixed schedule, if you're working at a hospital and you need to be at a shift. Like, can you send a grandparent to get the hours? And some people are like, no, we don't allow that. And I'm like, okay, well,
I
like,
know. I mean, our district does require anyone that's going to volunteer to go
yes,
to the Board of
that is another
Education,
level.
which
Mhm.
I think is amazing. I loved when they did that. And so everyone has to go to the Board of Education and they have to be approved
Yes.
and you are on file and then you get like a special visitor pass that gives you the privilege of being allowed into the building for that school year. And then you
Yeah.
have to get it renewed every year. So
So,
I thought that that was really smart and
yeah.
and terrific.
And from a safety perspective, I think
Yes.
a very good decision. And by the way, my wife, who takes our therapy dogs to various schools throughout the
Yeah.
district, has asked, like, "Can I have a pass to, like, go to all of them?" Because,
Yeah.
like, I never know when a school's gonna call me and want me to come there, so she's covered. It basically is what I'm getting to. So I think it's a great idea. Um, that's the one thing. And also, like, even though I was not, like, heavily involved in, like, the school PTA and those types of things, and I volunteered and went to things wherever I could. I was involved in other ways. Like, I was involved in, like, the volunteer soccer coaching and then helping run the league and, like, doing all that stuff.
Wait, can I just make my point though? Because
Oh, of course,
I
of course.
know that you've done that. I'm talking about because the opposite of that for you is that you didn't show up and say, like, let me
Yes,
in. I deserve to be here.
correct.
I'm first. You're not like shoving people out of the way to get your donut with, you know what I mean? Like there's this air of how come those moms on the PTO and it's like, we're working. We're helping,
Yeah,
we're doing. So, it was not this sense of and so for me with you or anyone else in that category,
yeah,
it isn't necessarily that. It's more of like the people who want to come and like be extremely critical. I'm just not I'm going to be part of the problem without being part of the solution.
100%.
Please don't tell me how much better you could have done it. Do it.
So, like, and with my kid's 5th grade field day, right? I'm like, "Oh, I wanna go to field day." So I went, I got, like, a little bit of half day coverage, and the elementary school was right down the street from the middle school that I was teaching at the time, and I went to the school, and they put me at some station, which was fine, but then immediately it was like, we're running out of water balloons, we need a hose, blah, blah, blah." So I'm like, "Okay, where's the hose?" Like, "All right, we get the hose," and, like, I'm in the janitor's room in the elementary school,
Yeah,
hooking up the hose, filling up water balloons, immediately just, like, you do it.
you do it.
While, like, other people are, like, standing around, not doing anything, like,
Right.
and that, like,
Right.
everybody needs to pitch in. Like, it has to be some sort of and the point I was trying to
Many
make
hands make light work.
before you said that, the point I was trying to make is, like, a
Yeah.
school, and I'm not trying to sound hokey, it has to be a community. Everybody
Yes.
has to work and pull their weight and chip in some way. And I know that I have made jokes about, like, I wanna be, napkin mom or Venmo dad, and sometimes that's what I have to be
100%.
because
Me too.
like, life is like, "Okay, here's a check." And
That's
I've also, and I will vocally say it right now, my kids are involved in high school athletics, and how many fundraisers and
so many.
sending a check. And it's like, you show up to the parent meeting. It's like, okay, well, here's your box of chocolate that you have to go sell. And it's
Yes.
like, okay, well, I have 2 kids on the same high school, in the same high school program, boy and girl, and they're both selling the same thing. And so I have to do double to sell
Yeah.
to the same people, the same names. It's like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Tell me how much money you want me to give you, and I'll give it to you.
Well, I
I'm
have a very
now,
good friend who's gave in the elementary school, gave a check every September for about $500 and said, I'm good for the year.
good. And
It was awesome. It was like 100%. Thank you
yeah,
so much.
but
And
here's the
how
thing.
generous.
If I've offered to do that, there are people that are like, "Oh, why are you trying to get out of it?" I'm like, "You don't seem that like,
But see,
can you?"
that's what I think we're talking about,
Yeah,
right? Like the tude. Like the tude that comes in with, instead of saying like that is terrific and thank you. My trigger was always I'm going to tell you how much better I can do it than you, but then they don't do it. I can't there are people, so many in so many ways that can do everything better than me.
that happens a lot even no, that happens a lot
But
even
it's
in,
so
like,
frustrating.
even in our profession
Ugh.
when, like, people are doing stuff, and there's times I've been critical too, like, whether
No,
we all have, okay?
no.
Where we've looked at, like, whether it be, a professional development day and made,
It's human
suggestions.
nature.
It's
Yeah,
human nature to
of
be like,
course it is.
but I always try to come to the table with a solution. Like,
Yes, you
can
do.
we I think that there's going to be, I saw this happen this year. How about next year we try? Or maybe we should, or how
Mhm.
about we, come up with
Yes.
some kind of other solution, which sometimes is well received and sometimes isn't.
Right, and I
Um,
think sometimes too, it depends on, like, is the person, like, open to hearing the suggestions? Like, maybe, like, sending someone a message, criticizing the yearbook that they volunteered and made, like, during the
yeah,
child's actual graduation. Maybe that's not the right time, right? Like, maybe the
no,
person's not ready to receive said criticism. And it depends. Oh, and wait, and one more thing, because I don't wanna forget to say this, and I have worked in a building like this. If there are no parents to help, the teachers do it,
yes,
which is double exhaustion, right? So I have seen teachers go above and beyond in every possible way, including field days, trips. I mean, there's such a difference in different school cultures
yeah,
that wherever there are parents that are willing to help, they are applauded and thank you so much for helping. And then, of course, like I always think of those teachers that do all of that because they don't have the parental support in the community to help them.
yeah.
Ooh,
And that's where it falls down to. And recent, it was just before this episode, I was, sitting around and getting ready, and I was like, doom scrolling through TikTok, and there was a post by it was a Nick Ferroni post. Shout out Nick Ferroni. Where's my heart picture? It was a
oh, Nick.
little shout out to Nick, but it was like that the entire system of education is built on unpaid teacher overtime. And then he said, like, it would be amazing to see what teachers would be able to do or what wouldn't happen if teachers just worked in their contract hours and taught with what their schools gave them in regards to a budget and things like that. Because look, if you're on Instagram and you're on Pinterest and you're on TikTok and all the social media platforms, and you're seeing teachers in the classroom and you're seeing them with these decorated spaces with LED lights and amazing bulletin boards and beanbag chairs. I do not wager. I'm not a betting person.
I'll
Uh,
bet
I, I
99% of them
99% of that stuff
is bought themselves.
is bought by the teachers themselves. My
100%.
my goddaughter, when she was gonna be in Florida, she had a little Amazon wish list that she sent out to family members, and that's what she wanted, like, stuff for her classroom, like pencil caddy things and all that stuff,
Mhm.
because you wanna make this welcoming, nurturing
Of
environment.
course.
And then, they get to they get to older grades and it's much more difficult in order to do that.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so like it's hard, and we are lucky to work in environments where, we're supported. We're lucky to work in environments that we have great coworkers, but we've also worked in environments where that it hasn't been the case, as well as there have been either a lack of parental participation, or sometimes you could make the counter argument that overbearing parental involvement
Yeah.
can be just as bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I just hadn't really, I felt like I had a few more things I wanted to say about it. And I understand that, the perception is, and it's definitely, where people are like, oh, that group of parents, they want to do everything their way, or they're not welcoming. And having been on the other side of it, it's just
so
absolutely not
and
true.
what winds up happening? Path of least resistance. You either involve those people and do exactly what their thing is, or give them the job that they want,
Right.
or you get to the point in our profession where it becomes like, well, that person can't do the job and you can do the job, so we're going to give you your job plus that other person's job. Or, oh,
Right.
they can't have cafeteria duty because they're just not, oops, sorry, they're just not stern enough with the students or whatever. And I'm not saying that people outwardly say that, but that's the perception. Right?
Yes.
That's what
Yes.
it looks like.
Right.
Like, oh, that person can't be a proctor for state testing. So, we're going to have them be the person that walks in the hallway and, walks around and stuff like that.
Isn't that what you're doing?
It is what I'm doing. Um,
I'm just kidding. This year, I'm the person who gives out the pencils,
yeah.
and let me
And
tell you.
I'd have people comment like, oh, how'd you get this job? I'm like, I didn't ask for this. They gave it to me. Why did they give it to me? Because for a number of years when they had iPads during testing, I was the Apple certified person, and if there's a problem with the
You
iPad,
have to fix
they
it.
wanted me in the hallway to be able to fix it or
That's
to
right.
help fix it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Which, you know, that I'll let you in on the secret, everybody. Get a pen and paper, write this down, turn it off and turn it back on again. Most times,
If you've never heard that trick.
yes. No, sometimes it's greater than that. Like you have like these anomalies that people can't problem solve. And,
Oh, have
you
you
know,
heard that there's a TikTok trend where the kids are messing their Chromebooks
please
up?
don't do that. Yeah,
Please don't do that.
yeah, please don't do that. Let's
We
let's
ask
not
you.
let's not do that.
Please not.
So this episode is basically and another thing. That's
And
what this
another
is.
thing,
And
but
another
really,
thing.
and it really did seem to, open up some really different talking points for, what is really the best use of parents' time. Oh, I never said muffins with mom, donuts with dad. My very first issue. I thought it
Oh
should just
goodness.
be. I thought it really could be sweets with someone sweet. I thought, why
Yes.
are we pigeonholing like mom and dad? Why can't we make it anyone in your auntie, your grandmother, like just make it anyone in your life that is special to you? My niece and nephew had nieces and nephews, they had something that was called lunch with a VIP, and whoever your VIP was, that was who
Great
it's just
idea.
your very it was so
Because you
terrific.
can't it's hard
It
because we
is.
and I also don't want to and I also think that the teachers that set these things up, their intentions are good. Right? They're like, "Oh, we wanna do this cute event for Mother's Day and Father's Day and muffins at mom, donuts with that." They're not, but sometimes they can't see the forest through the trees, right? And they can't see like, well, there might be a couple kids that like mom is not around or can't be around or dad is in a, uncomfortable situation or can't be, custody issues. Like there's so many things.
Yeah.
Um, where I think one of two things happens. You transition to something like you just talked about,
Yeah.
sweets with someone sweet, or you say, "Ooh, we're not doing this." That's
True.
that's the one of two things that happen.
I never
Um,
went. I never went.
okay.
Is that making me a bad mom?
Yes.
Oh. Are my children scarred from it? I'll have to ask them. I'm gonna ask them. I'll get back to you. Right?
I'm
I
sure
never
they're
went.
not. I'm
Guys,
sure
are
they're
you all
not.
right? Have you recovered from not eating breakfast with me not in our own house?
Yes.
Right? Yes, probably. Maybe
I
it'll come
mean,
up later on in their lives that,
yeah.
you know.
Um,
They can put it on the list of grievances.
when they're in therapy. This one time in 3rd grade,
She never came. She didn't come any year.
I saved her a bag of Little Bites, and she didn't come. Little Bites, what's with, like, 3 muffins in a bag?
Okay, first of all, it's 4, and also, let me
Still not
just
enough
say,
muffins.
my kids would sell me for a bag of Little Bites.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, especially Bryn. That's what she gave up for Lent.
Little Bites?
Little Bites chocolate chip muffins. Well, really all chocolate chip muffins, chocolate chip
Wow.
muffins are her jam, and she did go the entire time, and
That's
let me
why
tell you, there was no party like the party that happened when
that's why I
she
think that Bryn and Sophia are, sisters from
Yes,
another mister
that's right.
because my daughter will eat a chocolate chip muffin every day for breakfast and be very happy about it.
Every single day.
I mean, they are delicious.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, if you're out there and you're volunteering and you have figured out the way to, make everything better, we'd love to hear from you.
yeah.
And if you have some sort of system that seems to work in your school, whether you're a
That we would
teacher,
love to
we
hear
would
that.
love to hear, we love a good system, of what exactly is working. And we'd love to hear all about that because, hopefully some of our
Yeah.
other listeners can benefit from the system that is benefiting you and your family in your
And
school.
and another thing,
Yes.
we just recently went through, it was Teacher Appreciation Week. So we appreciate all those teachers that are out there fighting the good fight with the rest of us, on the front lines, in the classroom, dealing with all the same things that we're dealing with on a regular basis in the classroom. But, the work that we do sometimes is thankless, and it's nice to have, a little week where not just the people on this show say we appreciate you, but
True.
others in your own schools. And I would like to shout out, at our school, we had a fun little, our boss got a coffee cart. It was a little coffee cart, and you could order coffee beforehand, and you could get a drink delivered to you, and it was glorious. It was
Our
really cute.
admins are crushing
Yeah,
teacher
crushing it. It
appreciation.
was really cool. We got like a little plant, and we got a,
It was like, this is a fake succulent because you don't suck.
yeah,
That's not what it said.
that's not what it said, but that would be amazing if it did.
In
That
my
was-
mind, that's what it said. Like,
Oh, that'd be,
nobody
no,
sucks here. Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
And if you know our boss, that would land perfectly. That's great. We had some bagels and,
Bagels.
good stuff. It's always fun to
Yeah.
have
It's round
treats.
here. We appreciate you. That's
I know.
what it was
That's
like.
little
That's what the sign said, right?
Yeah, little counting crows for
I
you.
love
So yeah,
it. Yeah. Thank you.
we'd love to hear about your teacher appreciation gifts too. So you can always comment to us on social media. Let us
Yes.
know. I mean, Jamie has her favorite one, which is her pint glass with the misspelling.
The coffee is my real, true number one favorite. Not my make fun of favorite. Like the
Yeah.
coffee this week was everything to me.
That was fun. We started when I did student council at a previous middle school that I taught at. I decided, you know what? Let's do something, for the teachers. And it actually happened because there was a year where it was like Teacher Appreciation Week, and like it was crickets. Nothing
Oh,
happened.
they forgot.
Nothing was going on. The PTO didn't do anything. Not that they are required to. And then it was like the next week there was something haphazardly thrown together. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm gonna help organize something. So we did like a thing in the morning. We told people to come and just bring the only thing we told them to bring was like a cup for coffee, like a reusable mug, right? Or tea. So I got donations. We bought things. I had the cheerleaders show up in the morning
Vestibule.
with pom poms and like cheer for people coming in. And I'm happy to say that actually still gets done at that school.
Oh, I
So
love that.
it's really cool that it was an event that I kind of,
Yeah.
not that I'm patting myself on the back for it, but I think that was a really fun event. You could come in. It was like, the baskets of candy with
It's
like,
fantastic. It's how it should
know,
be.
you officially made us
Oh,
awesome and like
Swedish fish.
bagels. Yeah,
Mm.
like bagels and stuff like that. So we did that and we just had some, fun stuff in the morning. I cheered for everybody and everybody would like run through and you'd be like, woo, and you'd be like, Mrs. Wonko. It would be like the
Take your plant.
the the Yankee Stadium roll call.
Oh, I
But
love
no,
that.
it's those types of things. It's like those small gestures.
That's
And
right.
another thing, it's like those small gestures that really make, I don't need anything crazy special. I don't need anything expensive. I don't need to be wined and dined, but just like a little, a pat on the back or like a little message or sometimes
I mean,
nice.
deliver me a delicious iced coffee to my classroom.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was great. I
Oh,
loved every minute of it.
perfection. Me too.
It was. And not only that, but I sent my message. I sent the message to the boss, said, hey, I throw my vote back in for coffee cart for next year. Do it.
It
I'm
was
in.
awesome.
Or
Me
we should,
too.
or we should just, it should be like, it should be like the 1950s offices where like the little beverage cart would like roll around. I would totally want that job.
Oh, dream of dreams.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
Mr. Vitale, I appreciate you.
I
Not
appreciate.
just this week, but every week.
Yes, I appreciate you too, friend.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that I feel like you were having an intervention because you wanted to quarrel with me about my saying you were wrong about your thoughts on parental involvement.
No, I just think that it's a really interesting ongoing. I mean, this is not going to be the last time that we talk about this because there's got to be probably 5 or 6 other things that I meant to say. But, that's why, we just never are never done talking, Mr.
Yeah. Pretty much. All right. So we will see everybody next time on the Balancing Act podcast on human contact. See you guys next time.
Look for the Balancing Act podcast every week on your favorite podcast platform. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Thank you for being a part of our audience. We appreciate you.